brain does what it does naturally. So our bodies are only going to do what our brain tells it to do, and in our natural state, we're just going to go to our natural stance. Yours has been wide for however long it's been wide, so you're going to naturally go that way. So what I usually have my folks do is use a jig like this at practice to get their motion down, and they do it enough until the muscle memory allows them to not stand. And we have some drills. So slip that over each foot.
Over the foot or the ankle?
Over the foot. Yeah, you can slip it right over the foot.
Do you find that makes a difference in how they actually position themselves?
It does. It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference in how they defend themselves too.
Whether they're tight or open.
It makes the shield much bigger because now they're. Yeah, that one's gonna have to slide back a little bit further. So now, just for you and for everybody else, we're going to shift our feet back and forth. So go from one guard left to the right. Left and right. Now, that's pretty simple because we're in one place. But now we want to move to do that. So now, why don't we take a couple steps back? Don't go into the chairs. Yeah, you're hobbled. And it's going to feel a little strange. But everyone, does that look like his feet are the width of his shoulders?
Yeah.
And his shoulders are over his thighs?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Now, like I said before, this may not work for all of you. You may not like it, but this is the way I do it. And it's been somewhat successful, so you could probably glean something from it. All right, so go back to that power thing. We go into our stance. We're coiled. How many of you like throwing that snapshot? A little too much. Just go to a natural point. Don't contort yourself to gain extra power, because this is all going to be natural and loose. Everyone feel loose. All right, don't be tight when you fight. It's all about flow. And if we're all tight and we're tightening up all our muscles, what happens?
You can't react.
You're slow to react. What else happens? You lose power.
You run out of energy.
And you run out of energy because you're keeping the muscle tense the whole time and you're pumping it all full of blood. And then when it gets completely full of blood, what happens to it? It stops working. So you want to stay loose. How many of you are cramped up when you're fighting because you're gripping the sword too hard? All right? You don't want that to happen. So we want to stay loose. So once again, you go to coil and just mock a shot as you release. All right, so the energy release happens, and if you impact something, what can you do with that energy?
You can recover it and redirect it.
Recover it and redirect it. So why don't we take a step while we do that with the other foot? And if we step too far, what will happen?
Off balance. Way over my front leg.
You'll be way over your front leg, which means that if you have to go back the other direction, because he's countering, right? You may not be able to, but if you keep yourself in that center, you can rotate in his block, follow him back, and come over the top of him. Is this making any sense? Is this different than what you've done in the past?
When I do that, I find myself always going on post, just as a reaction to see what they're going to do. So I'm on post to, generally when I'm doing this, I'm throwing a backhand.
Okay.
And then I'm going to follow if they're giving more ground or rock back into this position. But when I find myself doing this, I find myself automatically
Lifting forward.
going on to that posted position.
Okay.
Both your feet move every time you take a step. You don't ever come out here and then move yourself and forward up.
No, I try not to. I try to.
Always put his feet back into,
Yeah, I'm always trying to get myself back into my natural stance, which, you know, I've been doing this 25 or so years now, and so some of it's ingrained, and some of it I may not even think to talk about. So if you see that I'm doing something, you know, that you're interested in, please ask a question, and you know, this way we can make sure we address it. So going back in guard, whether it's left or right, we want to do our motion. We take our first shot. We want to take our second shot. We want to block. We want to return again, because maybe he's in a flurry. Get yourself to a point where you can do these motions. Let's move up.